utilizing the Linux kernel and a various set of open libraries, a parallel virtual machine, message passing interface, and OpenMP. Basically, they found out that you could generate the same power of supercomputing for about 1/40th of the price. Or turning it around, that for the same amount of money, you can give somebody a computer that was 40 times more powerful. And so companies started to create this, and Linux took off. These are types of problems that you can solve in one of these Beowulf systems. Highly parallelizable problems. So, image rendering, making movies like Titanic, Shrek, and others. Image recognition, having satellite pictures and scanning the image, looking for little dots that could be a conning tower of a submarine or a sailboat, and determining which is which. Or a mammogram, which is a picture of a woman's breast to detect cancer. Global warming, genome research was done with MySQL as the database to hold the data for that. Variety of different things. Calculating financial reserves and doing resource prospecting for oil, eliminating the high number of dry wells you drill. Each dry well is about $2 million, and it creates a scar in the landscape. If you can eliminate a lot of them, you save money and the environment. Now, this is a type of programming that I call real programming. I don't care about, graphical little funny things on the desktop and stuff like that. I care about programs that take at least 3 weeks to run on the world's largest supercomputer. That's the type of stuff I'm interested in, okay? And Linux is used for all these things. It's used in all the colliders around the world. It's used at CERN, okay? Here's the movie Titanic. How many of you saw Titanic? Titanic was rendered in 160 alpha processors that was going over the course of a year to render that movie. They could have done it in a 1 alpha processor, but it would have taken 160 years, and Leonardo DiCaprio wouldn't look as good as he does today. Okay? How about the movie Lord of the Rings? How many of you saw that? 1,024 processors over the course of a year. Why so many more processors than Titanic? Because we keep demanding better and better graphics. And the better and better graphics require more and more CPU power. And we have Big Buck Bunny. Big Buck Bunny is a cartoon that was made with a program called Blender. And Blender is a free and open source program, and Big Buck Bunny is a free and open source movie. All of the parts of the movie are available, so you can change it if you want to. Now, this is a series of cast-off PCs sitting on the floor with the keyboards across the top, one fell off, and highly sophisticated networking coming out the back. This is actually a supercomputer that was created at Oak Ridge National Labs, but you can also create this at your high school by simply putting the right software on your lab of computer systems. From the very large, we go to the very small to embedded systems. That's the United States quarter, and this is a C-complete computer system with a breadboard. You can use free and open source software to design new embedded systems and new products. You can allow your students who have bright ideas to be able to go in and prototype these things. And so a challenge that I have for this region is to take your students, get some good ideas out of them, break them up into groups, use open source and open hardware to create new products, bring in your manufacturing companies to see these, and have your manufacturing companies create jobs here in your own country. Here's a school in Curitiba, Brazil that had no money for a computer lab. So they had some cast-off computers given to them by a bank. They took them all apart, put all of the parts onto the shelves, and then they reassembled them into a computer lab using Linux. They learned twice. They learned how to use Linux because their computer lab used it, but more importantly, they learned how the computers actually worked and how you actually put them together and how you actually scaled them. Here are some great projects that are also fun. There are TV recording systems. There's a home automation system called Mr. House. There's the Asterisk PBX system. You can set up your own little telephone system in your schools. These are all projects that your students can both use and contribute to. This is a group of people I show from time to time. I'm only going to talk about this guy. At the age of 14, he created his own distribution that installed into the fact file system. He had actually sold 20,000 of them before his parents found out what he had done. And when they said to him, "Why didn't you tell us about it?" he says, "I didn't need your help. I did it all by myself." These people could do the stuff they did because they had free and open source to help them. But it's not just about the teaching, it's not just about the students, it's also about the administration of the schools. The University of Utah was going to spend $10 million on an administrative system for running the school. There's a university in Australia that already spent 22 million Australian dollars on a very expensive system called PeopleSoft. Okay? And it still didn't work for them. And PeopleSoft told them it was going to take them another 15 million Australian dollars and another 3 years to give them a vanilla system that still wouldn't meet all of their needs. In Brazil, they wrote a system called SAGU, a complete administrative system for university. It's free. It was written originally to prompt in Portuguese, then some Spanish universities converted to do Portuguese and Spanish. The last time I knew, there was a Japanese student living in Germany doing the English version. So it takes care of all the things that the school needs for administration, and it's free. $10 million could have been spent on teachers. $10 million could have been spent on labs. There's other disciplines. We should be getting our other disciplines to think in a more open fashion, interacting with computer science, not just computer science and biology, but the interaction of both of them, and doing it in an open way. So, free software and open culture gives you the ability to tailor the software to your needs, to see how the software works, to generate